prefer? We all prefer to build the AMCAN Fortress, I apologize, and ship them more energy, more critical minerals. But we also have to look internally. As I said, we should all be looking in the mirror, and we need to look at internal trade that could pick up the GDP. I've heard numbers anywhere from $50 to $100 billion. We have to speed up approvals. We're hosting the world's largest mining show, PDAC, just in a little while, and people from all over the world are going to come here. But it's unacceptable. It's taking 10 to 15 years to get things moving. It's unacceptable that...
Hello everybody, my name's Tom Stoukas. I'm coming to you from Sarnia, Ontario. January 22nd, Wednesday, freezing outside. Our beloved Premier Doug Ford is going to save us from Donald Trump. Yeah. I just look at Doug Ford and I have a lot of conspiracy theories on how he became the Premier of Ontario with multiple majority governments. And there's got to be something more to it. How he fell in line with the COVID, basically looked away on all the globalist DEI, critical race theory, gender ideology, everything that him and his brother actually were always against in City Hall in Toronto. He basically sat on his ass and did nothing about it. Like, I can tell you right now, my daughter's school is full of rainbows. I'm pretty sure he spoke out against that when he was counselor. But, schools, cities, governments, businesses, they're all on that train, and he hasn't done anything to stand in the way of that. He's supported Justin Trudeau over these years. He supported him full force with the COVID. Now he's supporting him with his fight against Donald Trump. So something's fishy there. He sold himself as this conservative. Doug Ford sold himself as this conservative, every guy, Joe Lunchbox guy, connects with the conservative base, and he's basically done everything opposite. Like Danielle Smith in Alberta's got more guts than him, I think. For now. But to think that he's gonna, he's failed everywhere in Ontario as far as I'm concerned. Like, his developer buddies have made a lot of money. And they're doing well, I guess. But Ontario's got a lot of big problems with their healthcare system. We got lots of migrants coming here, and he's in fact encouraged it. He hasn't stopped it. He's encouraged it. A lot of the other premiers have too. Housing is ridiculous in this province, like it is in every province, but we're the biggest province, so it's ridiculous here. Prices, obviously, a lot of this isn't his fault, but the stuff that is his jurisdiction, like traffic and transit and crime, courts, everything, programs for autism, everything, by every standard, he hasn't done a good job. And with COVID, he was one of the worst, almost of the oppressive governments in North America, if not the most. And, I can I don't want to get into all the COVID stuff, but I'm not going to. I, like many other people, won't forget what he did just on the COVID, but on the other stuff, he's failed. And now he's going to save us from Donald Trump. So the question is, why has he been acting like this all these years, and how has he been so successful? I mean, I don't think he's that bright a guy. I mean, they put him in last minute after Patrick Brown got kicked out. And next thing you know, he's Mr. Premier for who knows how many years. Helps the fact that over 60% of Ontario didn't even bother to vote, because they know if they vote for Ford, they're going to get the same if they vote NDP or Liberal, but maybe worse if they vote NDP or Liberal. So it's like, I'll vote for Ford because at least he's not the NDP or the Liberal. So like we got the uniparty blob in Ontario, and it's consuming the structure. That's why a lot of people didn't bother voting, because of who you're going to vote for. We need a credible alternative. It's hard to build political parties. People are very steadfast in their ways. Be nice if like someone came in and took over the party like Trump did with the Republicans. He kicked all his rhinos out. Maybe someone could do that for the conservative. I don't know. It's a mess. Now he wants to call an election. He says he needs an election to fight Donald Trump. And a lot of people are saying he wants the election because there's going to be some dirt coming out with this RCMP investigation into his land dealings and whatever. And, you know, he's still got a year and a half, I think. And he's got a majority. So what's the deal? Why does he need an election? I don't want an election because all you're going to see is him win again. It's a waste of time. You know, big problems. I don't know. I don't have answers. I have no answers for this. I'm very, very upset because it's the biggest province in Canada. And he's still locked hand in hand with Trudeau there. So it's something the globalists have on Mr. Doug Ford. It's just a hunch. Because the guy's not that smart. Come on. He rode his brother's talent. And right up till the end. And now he pops in as this premier of Ontario, like ultra successful premier. I mean, if you look at electoral success, I wouldn't say success, but electoral success. So, what the hell is going to happen? I have a feeling it's going to turn out horribly for all of us too, but we'll see. Maybe he'll surprise me. So. And then what else? So Doug Ford is in the news because he's stepped up as the Captain Ontario. Captain Canada / Ontario. And like there's such a power leadership vacuum. You got Doug Ford as the lead guy. And we're screwed. It's not looking good. And you think, you know, he was a big booster of Trump. So you'd think he would be like more, less confrontational, or not confrontational, but like overreacting. Like, I don't know. I don't know who's advising him. He's trying to stoke up a war that he can't win. Like he said he was going to. He said he was going to cut booze, American booze, from the liquor stores. I was like, I don't think that's going to hurt them that much. I don't think that many people in Ontario drink JD, Jack Daniels, at such a level that we're going to bring down the U.S. economy. And that's the thing with him. It's all of this is about alcohol with this guy. Buck of beer. Grocery stores and variety stores. And now he's talking about banning the American beer. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. Who's behind the scenes of him? Because it ain't him talking. So, I said to Grok to do some imagery of our super... The guy who's going to save Canada. He actually thinks he's going to save... I don't know if he's delusional or if they're actually going to try and put him in there. No, I don't know. Nothing surprises me anymore, though. There he is. Doug Ford is Captain Ontario, ready to take on real Donald Trump. Yeah, we're screwed. There's him by the CN Tower. Ready for the invasion. Oh, God. There's him in the wider shot. Different outfit. I like this one. Captain O. Zero. Captain Zero. And Trump is like the Joker or something in the suit there. And what's the last one? Oh, Elon and Trump. There we go. I hope that's probably what they see him like. Like they look at him like the Hamburglar or something. So, and then in the meantime, we got Doug Ford stepping up. Captain Ontario. Thanks for the. And Paul Mitchell, I liked his tweet today. It said, "How is it possible that the Parliament is prorogued while a discredited Prime Minister who has said he is resigning is allowed to fuck up a deal over border security with America and destroy the Canadian economy with the resulting heavy tariffs? Canadian system's rigged." It's so embarrassing because you have the Liberal leadership race going on. You have the premiers spouting off. Like, well, you got really just Ford. Ford is the one who's going in front of the camera and saying all this shit like we're gonna cut them off and this and that. Nothing at the federal level, nothing cohesive. You don't know who's in charge. Like Carney's been getting lots of endorsements from MPs like today and yesterday. You got Freeland. I don't know if she's actually serious about running or if she's just running interference. And then you got Trudeau. It's like nobody takes seriously. So it's like, what's going on? How's this going to work out? And then now Trump said maybe February 1st he's going to start putting tariffs on us. It's kind of hard to figure it out when the guy is going to quit. And they're fighting to take over a spot. And they're unpopular. And then then we got to have an election to find the other guy to take over. And maybe Trump will deal with him. It's a mess. It's a mess. But we'll get through it, I think, maybe. It's so bad, it needs to be rebuilt from the ground up. But since that will never happen, separation is our only chance to reform our constitution properly. A lot of people in Alberta on the X talking about separation. This is not going to help the situation after what they did to Danielle Smith. Trying to single her out for not wanting to fight an unwinnable war. I'm not saying you don't fight war. You don't act like a wimp and say, oh, sorry. But that's like, if it's an unwinnable war, you fight at the last resort. You don't start egging them on and saying. There's a lot more that we don't know about. So much going behind the scenes. But yeah, Doug Ford is just one name among many in the Canadian thing. It's so muddled. Like in States, you go look, Trump. That's it. That's all you have to listen to. Here, you got to listen to 20 different voices on the radio and on the TV. You got Doug Ford, Trudeau, Carney, Danielle Smith. I don't know who else. Jagmeet sings, spouting off all the time. You got this whole Canadian Council that he's gotten going. Anyway, it's just Trump. So yeah, it's a mess. So the good thing is he's got a lot on his plate. He's got He's dealing with the Ukraine situation, very dangerous situation. He's going to deal with the deportations. That's going to take a lot of his time. And he's dealing with the cartels. I don't know if he's going to go to war with them, but that's a big thing. And then he's still got, the Middle East shit. Lots of serious stuff there. So I think he's just egging us on a little, and he's got a lot of stuff to take. I know he can do multitasking, but that's a lot of multitasking. You got to do priority list, and his priority would be Canada would be there. But, there are valid concerns, I bet. Especially if we don't even know who these MPs are that are been influenced by foreign governments. For some reason, we don't know who they are. Maybe Trump knows who they are. Maybe he knows a lot more than we do, and that would explain a lot of his behavior. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's just being an asshole, or maybe he's just I just feel like our side is running around with the heads cut off for something that really technically hasn't even happened. And the only reason it's happened is because you seem to have made him a very angry person over the years. You like your little snickers and stuff about him and thinking he's never going to come back. So the best thing to do is remove yourselves from the situation because you didn't have the foresight to say and be diplomatic and say, oh, this guy is powerful in the States. You don't want to get on his bad side or whatever. I could imagine the stuff they said about him for 4 years while he was getting prosecuted and this and that. Thinking, oh, he's never coming back. Now he's like the most powerful he's ever been. And we're, these dummies that are our leaders, even our dummy mayor here in Sarnia, Mike Bradley, he's like, ugh, thinks he's better. So our leaders brought us to this. And now they got to eat this shit that Trump's feeding them, I guess. But it could get worse. I don't think I'd like to think it won't, but the way I think it, anything could happen in this world. So I don't make any predictions. And if it happens, we deal with it when it happens. It hasn't happened yet. That's my thing. And then we got Pierre. They asked, the big question is if he asks about genders or something, if he only believes there's two genders, because Donald Trump said there's only two. I think he said two. Well, I want to watch the video. I haven't even watched the video yet. But I'm like, that's it? That's all he's going to ask this guy today? He's like the official opposition leader here. So many other problems. And then we go into the gender thing. Is the Canadian government, our federal government, which we shouldn't even be paying really for, because I'm pretty sure you can abolish like 90%, like Twitter, when Elon Musk bought Twitter and he got rid of 80% or 90% of the workforce, probably like 70, right, 80%, I don't know. Pretty sure and the place still work. Pretty sure we could do that with the federal government, because now they're issuing things about guidance for LGBTQ people visiting the States and new guy. I'm like, come on, man. Seriously, we could fire all those people that write these nonsense bulletins and save a lot of money. Or they could hire me and I'll take the money. Like, it's not like they're out hunting down LGBTQ in the States. It's just being common sense policies. That's all it is. Canada's so infested with that. Oh my God. Poor Pierre, I gotta watch that video. We're gonna find it. So, that was his big question of the day. And I'm pretty sure he's gonna be in the election. He's gonna have to go hard, and none of, like, what I think what what Aaron O'Toole screwed up on, because he's not a real conservative at all. He's a plant. But what they're going to want is the clarity, like none of this him and hedging and stuff on the whatever. Like Trump, the one thing he doesn't really him and haw. He just says it, what's on his mind. So the election, I'm pretty sure the liberals will make him clarify his stance on LGBTQ issues. Because I noticed too, I saw an article in Toronto, some duff, I can't remember which school board, but GTA school board, Catholic one. I think they took the rainbows out of the schools, which makes sense because I went to my kid's school. It's a public school, but I went there and I got blinded by all the rainbows. So many rainbows, man. Like on every goddamn door. And I was like, no wonder my kid wants everything with rainbows on it. Got everywhere. But they're going to get rid of that shit one by one, hopefully. But, that's where Doug Ford failed. He could have went down a provincial ministry decree and said, no rainbow bullshit, gender flags in the classroom, on the classroom doors or whatever. I have a feeling they had a rule or something, some bullshit rule. I think they put a rule, no flags. So now, because they only have stickers, I saw stickers on the door, right? So maybe they said that, we don't have flags, but you can do stickers on the door. So it's bullshit. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. And then WEF is meeting, I guess. It's their January meeting. But nobody seems to give a shit. So that's kind of good, I guess. I don't know. It used to be the place to be. Now it's like nobody wants to be associated with it, at least in the election season. Okay. Yes. So that's what's going on. My head's spinning still. I don't know what to do, who to follow. So we got to find Pierre's answers. Oh, and then the last thing I just saw, it looks like this just came out tonight, the Ecos poll. And it's quite interesting. And I don't know if it has the Liberals down only 7 points to the Conservatives, which a lot of people saying this poll is bullshit. And I think it kind of is, but it could be the Trudeau bounce for Carney, the Trudeau bounce for the party, like when Trudeau got dumped or he said he was going, that could have been like a big pressure valve release, and where that pent up frustration with Trudeau was released and it went back into their column. I don't know. Or it could be a bullshit pool. Okay. Please don't take this poll seriously. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. And the best answer I have is wait for the next poll. I think I'm kind of surprised, to be honest. I'm very surprised. Here's Pierre. All right, I'm kind of surprised. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. When Trudeau quit, he quit over a week ago. Oh shit, he quit for a couple weeks, I think. Anyway, he's quit for a while, and this is like the first real poll since Carney's, or since the Liberal leadership race has been called and people started joining the race. Like, I thought there'd be more polls. Because they poll for everything, especially in the States. Guess we not. But anyway, these daily polls said no difference, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. I want to look at the poll, though. I'm trying to find it. It said 7 points only. And like they were down like 20 points. So it can't be that much of a balance. All right, let's get ecos. Let's look at the poll first. A lot of people are saying, here we go. The pleb, oh my God. So, pleb, who's blocked me, I guess I was mean to him. Sorry, pleb. Is this it? This is it, yeah. So Frank Graves, Ecos poll. He thinks pleb don't believe the poll, but the pleb's a diehard Pierre guy. He loves Pierre. So of course he's going to say this. Hopefully he's not crying in a bathtub right now. Like hopefully he doesn't believe it and he's just saying he doesn't believe it. Pleb could be crying in a bathtub if another poll comes out like this. So it says 39% CPC, 32% Liberal, 14% NDP, 7% Bloc. I don't know how reliable this is. 3% PPC, yeah. Anyway, that just came out, looks like just now, so. No, a lot of people aren't really taking this poll very serious. Yeah. I'm not going to give it huge. I'm not going to give it a huge weighting, but I mean, you'd think they would have a little better results since Trudeau left. Like, just a little, even a little better, you know. What? Former Liberal MP Ruby Dahl is entering the Liberal leadership. I remember Ruby Dahl. She was like a minister for Chrétien, I think. She was young then, though, so she could be a mature candidate by now. Ruby Dahl. She's from Brampton. We got our Brampton Prime Minister running. The boys will love that. How many people are going to join this race? Jesus. It's going to take, I can't believe it, till March. I think it's a mess. Like, how the hell? We might have tariffs coming in February, like, which is like next week. And we got all these people, oh my God, people running for the Liberal leadership, and you got nobody really running the government. Oh my God. All right. Let's find Pierre first. Let's find Pierre just to get that out of the way. I haven't seen it. I'm saving the best. Pierre Poilievre. He's been a little overshadowed lately because everything between Trump and the drama with the Liberals and Doug Ford taking his spotlight. It's All right. That's what I meant to do. I just want to see this because it looks so funny. That's the biggest question we could ask this guy. Oh, here it is. Bring home common sense.
Signed an executive order, the U.S. government only recognizing two genders, male, female. They're unchangeable. If elected as prime minister, is that something that you're going to kind of walk in line with, or what are your feelings on that executive order?
Well, I don't know. Do you have any other genders that you'd like to name?
So he's giving the snark you.
Yes.
I'm just asking more so if
just
you're
answer
in
the
line
question.
with what he is saying. Do you agree with what he's saying? Is that something that you would be lockstep with if elected as prime minister?
Well, I'm not aware of any other genders than men and women. I mean, if you have any other that you want me to consider, you're welcome to tell me right now.
Well, there's personally, I am a man. I am as people who say cis man. There are people there who they say they're gender neutral. Well, you are a man. Yes. There are people there who say they're gender neutral. Yeah, they say they're gender neutral. They're a trans person. Is that something that you would recognize here, whereas in the States, at least with their U.S. government, the way they're seeing it, there's only two?
I'm only aware of two, but I mean, if you come up with
he's being a little smug here, but instead of being smug, he could really get into it.
And as far as I'm concerned, we should have a government that just minds its own damn business and leaves people alone to make their own personal decisions. That's the kind of government I'm going to run.
And with that, the current government, they currently have passports that allow people to put on, gender neutral on their passport.
Yeah, let's see what he says about this.
Advocate groups want the government, mind you, the outgoing government, to ask the U.S., would the U.S. recognize these passports, obviously on their way out, if you are the next prime minister? Is that something that you would advocate for?
I have to be honest. Yeah. I have to be honest with you. I just saw your segment on homeless encampments that are popping up all over Toronto. We've got 25% of our population in poverty. Housing costs have doubled. Crime is rampaging through our streets. I just find it to be a strange priority to spend time talking about this. My priority is to give people back control of their lives, bring back Canada's promise that anyone who works hard gets a powerful paycheck and pension that buys affordable food, gas, and homes in safe neighborhoods. That's the promise we need for Canadians. If Liberals want to talk about different labels for gender that they want to put on passports in the United States, they can do that. I'm going to talk about the things that will bring home Canada's promise.
First of all,
it's kind of a smug answer. Like, he's trying to get the guy to name some of the stupid other things. I get it. But, he says, oh, there's more important issues to talk about. Okay. It sounds like he always tries to change the subject. Would you? I don't know. Maybe it would have been better for him to say, yeah, I agree with Donald Trump. Maybe he doesn't want to agree with Donald Trump. I don't know. It's going to come up again because I know the Liberals are going to be like, oh, he's anti-trans, all this. And he's going to have to say, yeah, are you anti-trans or are you pro-trans? Like, I know he'd rather, just like in that answer, he'd rather not talk about it. He'd rather talk about the homeless encampments or this or that, whatever. I get it, but you're going to have to talk about it. Yeah, I was just reading this headline here. Premier Doug Ford says stay tuned when asked whether he plans to call an election next week. Gosh, that's the last thing we need, but it'd be nice if we had an election with someone to vote for. I know there's an Ontario efforts to do an Ontario party for conservatives, like real conservatives, but I don't know. People still like Ford. I don't know why, because they think he's not the NDP, he's not the Liberals. If we won't vote for Ford, we'll have the NDP or the Liberals or both. I get it, but he's still, what's the use? Like, he's just as bad as them. Well, as far as I'm concerned, he's just as bad as them. So we saw the Pierre video. We saw the poll. Let's see what, we're just going to scroll through some of these so we can get some Doug Ford. Captain Ontario. Okay. Oh, this is what we were talking about earlier. Trump order on gender prompts. On gender prompts, pressure on Ottawa to give America's trans community safe haven in Canada. And I said, we already have enough mentally ill people in Canada. We don't need any more from the States. I was in Walmart yesterday with my kids shopping. And I was at the checkout counter, and the guy in front of us had a dress on. And like, he had pants on, but the dress over the pants. So it was weird. But you know what? We're not Saudi Arabia here. Like, we're not going to throw this guy off a building. But this is getting a little ridiculous. It's like Halloween every day for these guys. That was kind of weird. But if the dude wants to walk around with a dress, I can't stop him. Doesn't make him trans though. It makes him a guy in a dress. All right. I'm not afraid to say that. I like my line. I'm surprised. It's probably got me throttled, all that stuff. All that lovely stuff. No such thing. I'm sure they love me. But there's no such thing as a trans person. Stop promoting mental illness CTV. So the CTV's getting... Oh, they got Faye Johnstone. Oh, God. Look at this beauty. Trans activist wants federal guidance. This is what I was talking about with the federal government. On U.S. travel after Trump orders. What the hell, federal? Don't go. Oh, my God. Faye. And then that's where I put that comment. Because, like, why are you even doing this story? Come on. No. That's no such thing. Okay. I don't want to read it. I don't want to read it. I'm not reading it. But yeah, like, come on. Slow news day? Come on. The real pandemic was how retarded everyone acted. Yes, I agree with that. I watched the inauguration. It was pretty good. It was very regal. Like, very regal. Like a royal ceremony, but without the royalty. It was good. I liked it. And I liked that was inside, because usually when they're inside, they're all like freezing and they just want to get the hell out of there. And here, that was comfortable and nice. Carrie Underwood sang. It was nice. Regal. Very regal. Like, I felt like I was back in the 1700s. I give it a thumbs up. Doge clock. All right. Premier Doug Ford says Alberta Premier Danielle Smith understands why Canada's political leaders need to be united in the face of Trump's tariff threat. And he believes the country's premiers are moving her along in her position. Oh, you better not be wrong about that, because you're gonna look like a total dummy if Danielle contradicts us. I haven't heard. He's talking a lot. Look at him. He's at the table. Look. You look at this picture. That ain't no AI. That's Doug sitting at the table with a bunch of liberal, Justin Trudeau, Dominic LeBlanc, Melanie Jolie, and then looks like some premier from out east, and then Wab Canu. He's the Captain Ontario. We're screwed. Here's one about Canada.
Really, not.
To impose tariffs on Canada and Mexico in an effort to force negotiations sooner on USMCA?
No, it's really not on USMCA. It has nothing to do with that. They've allowed, both of them, Canada very much so, they've allowed millions and millions of people to come into our country that shouldn't be here. They could have stopped them, and they didn't. And they've killed 300,000 people last year, my opinion, have been destroyed by drugs, by fentanyl. The fentanyl coming through Canada is massive. The fentanyl coming through Mexico is massive. And people are getting killed, and families are being destroyed. I mean, the son gets killed, and the family is a basket case for the rest of their lives. I mean, I've seen mothers that thought that he...
So, yeah, he's saying we do a lot of fentanyl production. I know they busted a bunch of super labs in Canada lately, and, you know, maybe he knows more than we do. Like, maybe, I know we have a lot of open borders here. We got a lot of foreign money, a lot of foreign interests. Who knows? Like, a lot of this stuff comes from China, come through Canada. I don't know. Maybe he knows we don't. Let's see what else.
They never heal. They say it gets worse with time. It gets worse with time. They lose their boy. They lose their baby. They lose their young daughter to fentanyl poisoning. And I had that talk with President Xi the other day, too, of China. I said, we don't want that crap in our country. We got to stop it. I would have stopped it. I had a deal with him where he was going to give the maximum penalty, which in China is the death penalty for drug dealing. And he was all said he was going to give the maximum penalty to fentanyl dealers. If they send to the United States, they were going to get the death penalty. And, of course, Biden didn't pick that up. I had that deal all done. It was all wrapped up. We were going to have it done.
All right, he's not talking about Canada. But, yeah, this Pierre sparring with reporters, getting a little stale. I get it. You don't like CBC, but just answer the damn question. He didn't really say. He just said, "What do you think? Is there? Tell me, are there more? Like, whatever. Just tell him." I don't really like that when he does that, but that's just me. I mean, once do it, but every time, I see how he does it. Like, I don't know. It could get you in the end. You gotta be careful. We are the sheep. This BC climate justice advocate facing deportation. Skip visa obligation. Get yourself arrested a dozen times and then claim you're being... It's so hard to deport somebody from here. Like, we're never going to be able to deport people on the scale that people want. It's never going to... It's going to be so hard. Like, this guy ain't getting deported, I'll tell you that much. All right, let's keep going here. Florida got snow. That's crazy. Okay. What the hell? Sorry, guys. It's like they're cutting me off my news. All right. Freeland to scrap Canada's capital gains hike if she's elected. Yeah. I don't see her going anywhere in this race, but I know. I can't believe we have to wait till March. Oh, gosh. Trudeau to attend events marking liberation of us. That's got to be coming up. Yeah, this guy's a dummy too. Him and Ford. This is the guy who took over from John Horgan, another COVID commie. He's dead now, unfortunately for him, but he took over, and he's like a commie, totally commie, and we got Doug Ford sitting at the table with this guy. Let's see what he says. Okay. It's not too long, I hope, but it's not too long.
You were mentioning in your opening remarks, encouraging people to use their purchasing power to support Canadian businesses. I'm wondering what your thoughts are on non-essential travel to the U.S. Do you think Canadians should be taking holidays in the U.S. while this is going on?
Look at this dude.
Yeah, you know, it's a strange time because we've got friends and family and loved ones over the border. The border, for so many Canadians, has been a marker of certainly of a different country, but not in the way that borders typically separate countries. We've got so many relationships.
This is voice like a geek.
And it feels very strange to say, but I really do think that for Canadians right now, when you're planning your March break vacations, when you're planning your summer vacations, if the tariff threat is realized, the deliberate economic attack on families in our province, in our country, by the President of the United States, that we should really be thinking carefully about spending our money in that country. And it's a bit heartbreaking to say it, to tell you the truth, because of our relationships back and forth. I don't understand why the president is doing this. I think it's bizarre. It's not a fight we wanted. It's not a fight we signed up for. But I assure every American, and certainly and especially the president, that Canadians will fight. We will stand up and fight. And that includes making decisions about how we spend our money. And we will not spend money in a country that wants to do economic harm to Canadians. And I think that it'll be a difficult discussion and decision for many people. But I'm sure families are having those conversations because.
All right. This is who Doug Ford's with. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm trying to when I want to find something on, there's nothing on. Let's see what General Smith says. 6 hours ago. So I took time between meetings with U.S. senators and House members today to speak with my premier colleagues and the Prime Minister. The need to visibly demonstrate our nation's commitment to tighter border security and to accelerating our 2% GDP NATO commitment. Importance of building more oil and gas pipelines east and west within our country. So this is between her and the premiers. So increase defense spending, tighten the border, build more gas pipe and oil pipelines east and west. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. So a general agreement on the need to focus more on constructive, proactive diplomacy with U.S. lawmakers rather than escalating rhetoric, which is what Trudeau and Doug Ford have been doing. So it doesn't look, if anything, Doug Ford said, oh, Danielle Smith's coming along. She's coming along to our way of thinking. And Danielle Smith's basically saying the same thing, that they're coming along to her way of thinking. Who knows what... I don't know who to believe. Well, this is, I guess, while more discussion is needed, the group is moving closer to a consensus on how to handle the U.S. tariff challenge. So she's still sticking to her guns. She doesn't want continue to pose any extreme measures on our energy exports. Such extreme measures. So the necessity of consulting with and securing consent from individual provinces before cutting off or placing export tariffs on key exports from those provinces. Alberta will continue to oppose any such extreme measures on our energy exports. So yeah, it doesn't sound like Doug Ford says she's come along. It sounds like she hasn't moved her position at all. What a mess. Like, why is Trudeau even in the room? Nobody wants him. we got Danielle Smith going to. We got Doug Ford in front of cameras every 5 minutes. We got Trudeau, who nobody wants around, mucking up the works. Mucking up the works. Okay. So we'll see how it all settles out, because it's a mess right now. Just seems boring. I don't know why. All right. We got big problems here. Hmm. Nothing. Nothing on Doug Ford on my feed at all. I'm gonna go. Been a bit of a weird day anyway. Just running around like crazy. Pure says he's only aware of two genders. Well, so yeah, next time, it's probably tomorrow, we'll watch, see what our Doug Ford will say. I'll be home all day tomorrow, so I'm going to watch, get caught up on everything. You guys all have a nice night.